Good evening and welcome to round 7 of Thursday Night Grand Am. I'm Matthew Hill, your host. You're watching V8 Online's live broadcast of the Thursday Night Grand Am, brought to you by Track Racer, Thrustmaster and V8 Online Superstore. Joining me tonight is the debut of Desmond Hallam. Welcome, Desmond.
Thanks, Matthew. Long-time viewer, first-time commentator.
Oh, mate, we'll be gentle with you this time. For sure. I mean, I remember my first time, and it wasn't that long ago. So welcome aboard, Desmond. It's great to have you here. And round 7 tonight at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Complex. It's a awesome track. A bit of a split between the drivers. Some love it, some hate it. So, what's your thoughts on it, Des?
It's a great, challenging track for any driver, really. Any car combo. With the rising hills, track flows beautifully, especially in this McLaren. Could be some great racing tonight.
Yeah, that's right. For those who haven't seen Mid-Ohio before, it's a 3.86 kilometre circuit with 15 turns. Pretty much one of the staples for the Grand Am, I think, in real life. Goes there every year. So, run through the championship standings so far in the season. Then the Riley prototypes, we've got Mitch Abrahall leading the championship, followed by Christopher Osborne, John Emerson in 3rd, Steve Vanos in 4th, Alex Lehman in 5th place, Matthew Barron in 6th, Baden Raid in 7th, Michael I'm going to butcher that name, sorry, Shea in 8th, Anthony Kernich in 9th, and Michael Fabian in 10th. And in the McLarens, we've got Christian Hollywood in 1st, David Hinkston 2nd. Looks like Christian's got a bit of a gap there too between 1st and 2nd. Martin Turner in 3rd. Dylan Sharman in 4th. He's really shown some turn of speed, Dylan, so you'll expect to see him up towards the pointy end. Andrew Wren in 5th. Corey Osborne in 6th. Craig Hunter in 7th. Blake Coppo in 8th. Benjamin Rigby in 9th. And Josh Flew in 10th. Just watching the guys now on track in their warm-up, getting all prepared for their race. It's going to be very, very interesting. I noticed I was chatting to my teammates from TTL there earlier on this evening, Des, and they were telling me that the cars are really grippy for about 3 laps and they just die off. So I reckon it's going to be an interesting battle for this full 50 minutes.
It sure will. It's interesting about that with the tyres there. I suppose with the track surface here at Mid-Ohio, it possibly is a bit punishing on the tyres. Throwing the cars around as we saw Blake Coppo in qualifying there. Going to be a tough one for him.
Yeah, well, you and I were both watching the qualifying session, and Blake Coppo was absolutely sideways through some of these corners. I mean, they were doing absolutely everything they could possibly do to keep the mid-corner speed up in these cars to try and achieve a very fast time. But unfortunately, that qualifying session, the last one, we didn't see anyone better their times.
No, not as yet. It's very tight. I suppose with the drivers being able to qualify for most of the week now, a lot of that would have been done pre-race.
Yeah, that's right. For those who are new to iRacing, I haven't seen it before, you can actually qualify pretty much any time you want to. There's a qualifying session every hour for these Grand Am series. So as soon as the track goes live on a Tuesday, they can jump straight in and do as many qualifying sessions as you want. So a lot of guys get in nice and early, try and set the car up and really set a good pace for others to try and catch. And one thing we do love about the Grand Am series is the fact it's a multi-class series. So there's 2 different championships going on, 2 different races in one, so it's bang for your buck there, viewers.
Interesting enough there, Matty. We've just had a couple of guys go quicker than their pole time, so...
Wow. It shows you the strength of drivers that we've got here.
Yeah, with a 50-minute race, it's not just about your qual position.
Okay, the warm-up's over now. We're just waiting for the cars to jump on the grid. This is about the time when I start getting really nervous. Okay, we'll run through the grid now, guys. Get ready for as the pace car gets ready to pull away. So I'll run through the prototypes. we've got George Sandman from the USA in pole position on a 1:15.1. John Emerson on a 15.2. Osborne on a 15.3. So the top three drivers separated by 0.2 of a second. Anthony Kernich in fourth. Mitch Aberhall in fifth. Steve Vonus in sixth. In seventh, we've got Michael Fabian. In eighth, we've got the newcomer Brad Ryan. And in ninth, we've got Alex Lamb.
And for the McLaren field, we've actually got quite a great turnout here. 17 cars all up. Dylan Sharman heads the list with a 19.9, a blistering time. Blake Coppo follows him with Fabian Gonzalez. Dustin Ruggier, a star from the V8 series, has made the grid in fourth there. Christian Elwood, Andrew Lee, Andrew Wren, Leighton Fine, Martin Turner and Dave Hingston round out the rest of the top 10. Got Edward Van Veltzen, Wayne C. Burke, Paulo Martins, Marco Testani, Darren W. Jump for the last of with the qualifying time, with Barry Kennedy, Steffi Tansey, sorry if I got that wrong, and Chrissy Pence rounding out the grid with no qualifying time.
Yeah, guys, don't forget, if we do butcher your names, and let's face it, it probably happens on a weekly basis, especially when I'm involved, please contact us on Facebook, which is facebook.com/V8online, and just spell it out phonetically for us so we can pronounce it correctly. Yeah, please go ahead and do that if you'd like to get your name pronounced correctly on the broadcast. All right, so now that's the grid done. Now we get down to the nitty gritty. Now it's all fun. Sitting behind that pace car, the guys trying to keep a bit of distance from each other. And probably one thing you will notice is the actual the McLarens will give themselves a nice, decent break to the Daytona prototypes, just to give themselves a bit of space. You really don't want to get tangled up in any problems that the DPs may have at turn one.
Yeah, this Grand Am style of racing requires just a little bit of etiquette from the drivers.
Yeah, that's right, especially going through the complex that the DPs are going through now. That double right-hander there through the bottom of the gully is an absolute nightmare. It's not really somewhere you want to be stuck behind a slower class of car, and you know, it's really going to take some etiquette, some clean driving, some basically a lot of space given from the two different classes. Otherwise, it's very quickly you can enter that fence there on that left-hand side there, and I've done it many times. Okay, as the pace car pulls in, now it's up to Sandman to call,
green.
and they're away. Looks like Emerson's got a great jump. Will take the lead into turn one. Sandman falling back into second place. Osborne getting attacked by Aberhall through the turns corner. Oh, geez, that close. Oh, that's incredible. And Kernich maybe lost the position there.
As the McLarens run through, they pretty much just jump straight into single file there. Nice clean racing from everyone.
Newcomer to the series, Justin Ruscio, actually showing the nose of that ANZ Motorsports McLaren right up there on Fabio Gonzalez. It's good to see Justin in an unfamiliar car. We used to see him in the big V8.
Yeah, it is. It's great to see some of these powerhouses of the V8 start to come over. We've already had John Emerson and Christopher Osborne come over. Mitchell Aberhall in the DPs, but yeah, it's great to have him jump into the McLaren and bang it around the track with us.
Looks like we got Brad Ryan, first race in the Daytona prototypes. Oh, geez, he gets his nose cut off by Steve Vanus. We know how aggressive Vanus is. Not giving that lazy man racer any room there coming to the last turn. Brad Ryan probably won't be too impressed with that move, but Steve runs a little bit wide into turn one. One thing we got to notice here is Blake Coppo. I mean, he's a well-renowned GT driver in the Australian, or the iRacing simulator system, I'd say you call it. But really showing Dylan bears under a fair bit of attack from Justin and Christian Elwood.
It's going off in the back placings with Martin Turner and David Hingston really going at it.
Oh, Leighton Fine runs wide on the grass. Puts a couple of wheels on the grass there. He's trying to attack Edward. I think he actually lost the position at Edward.
Yep, and he's under attack by Wayne as well.
Oh, jeez, yeah, nice and close.
Because McLaren can give off some very good racing when it wants to.
Yeah, you're not wrong about that one. Back into the DPs now. We've got Fabian putting the pressure on Kernich. I mean, it's hard to miss Kernich. Bright green car. Fabian looks up the inside. Oh yeah, Kernich pulls across on him. This one of the things about this track, it's so hard to make a move stick. This is probably the tricky section of the track. I mean, the car gets so loose, and if you've got no downforce on the back of that prototype, it can quite easily turn around quicker than you can imagine. So see Fabian, I mean, he'll probably show a little bit of patience here and try and get around Kernich. Back to this huge battle now. We've got Fabio Gonzalez leading a train of ANZ. Oh, jeez, I had to stop talking. I couldn't handle that. That's incredible. Rouge nearly went around. Manages to keep hold of it and keeps the pride of place, I'd say, of the ANZ Motorsport team.
Very interesting watching the McLarens there, the different lines of all the drivers. Gonzalez taking a very wide line into that second last turn, with both the ANZ drivers taking quite a short, shallow line.
Just one thing about these, the McLarens is, yeah, there is multiple lines, especially so last corner, because everything you gain in the middle section of that corner, you lose it on the exit, so, and vice versa. So the battle for first outright is actually going the way of John Emerson at the moment. John Emerson's actually managed to pull a little bit of the gap on George Sandman. As we look this next time by, last time by it was 0.7 of a second, this time by 0.8. So John Emerson manages just to edge out a little bit more on Sandman, and he'll hope to do that for the next few laps. But now is about the time that Emerson said that his car may start to drop off a bit of pace. So it'll be interesting to see if he's managed to solve that problem in the setup. And also Christopher Osborne is actually sticking with George Sandman as well. He's only 0.8 of a second behind as well. Looks like Sharma is actually starting to pull a little bit of gap on Blake Coppo now too. The gap out to 1.4 seconds now. And 3 seconds to Gonzalez. That battle now in the actual McLarens now, Wayne Berg and Leighton Fine really starting to heat up. Last time by, the lap times were pretty much identical. This battle, of course, now for 10th and 11th in class.
It looks like they're starting to catch Andrew Wren, David Hingston there. Brad Ryan in the DP is going to have a look here at turn 2 on Steve Bainus.
I tell you what, that's one heck of a job there.
He's got that done quite nicely.
That's a great move by Brad Ryan. I mean, we know how good Bainus is on the brakes, so to outbrake basically the king of the DPs in the braking is an excellent job. He's having another look up the inside, Bainus. Oh, contact! He's turned Brad Ryan. Oh, that's That's not good at all.
Alex Lamb.
Look at the replay now. It looks like Steve maybe seeing the red mist of an overtaking manoeuvre done in the last corner. Just outbrakes himself a little bit. As Brad Ryan turns in, makes a little bit of contact with the rear and around he goes, unfortunately, into the sand. Very unfortunate there, but Alex Lamb all over the back now of Steve Onus. So I wonder if Steve's got a little bit of damage.
Alex Lamb was right behind that contact. Would have licked his chops at seeing that. Hoping to pick up 2 spots there.
Well, he definitely managed to pick up 1. I mean, Brad Ryan unfortunately goes back to 9th place overall, which is last in the prototype class. But Alex now all over the back of Steve Onus. Looks like as it starts to settle down now, looks like Gonzalez may be actually starting to gap Justin, just a touch. But I mean, every little tenth of a second counts in these cars. I mean, they're so closely matched.
And just up front with the DPs, it looks like John Emerson's set is actually coming in for him. He's starting to put a little bit of a gap on George Sandman.
Yeah, that's right. He's managed to pull out, 0.9 of a second now, so consistently a tenth faster.
And he's catching Barry Kennedy in a limping McLaren very quickly.
Yeah, I wonder what happened to Barry there. He's got a fair bit of damage on the back end of that McLaren. Yeah, I'm just trying to have a look through my system now, but no, it doesn't seem to have it. But John Emerson not far off him now, so he'll be hoping to get around Barry nice and quickly. Nice battle going up here in the prototypes now for, was it now, 4th, 5th, 6th? We got Abrahall, Koenig and Fabian all within a second. Looks like we've got a bit of action here now in the back of the McLarens. It looks like we've got Darren Jump actually got turned around by Paulo Martez going into turn 3, is it? Yeah, turn 3 there. Yeah, put it well up the inside. And Darren, unfortunately, spins out onto the grass, into the sand, digs it out, away he goes. Bit of action here in the McLaren straight up.
Yeah, it's quite tight racing in the mid-packs. Even for the DPs, it's quite tight. This battle now, Wayne Burke and Leighton Fine just hasn't eased off at all. It is just hammer and tong. These guys are just going at it. So if these guys can do this for another, 45 minutes, that'll be, I can tell you, I'd be absolutely, completely spent. As Wayne Burke looks around the outside, geez, that's a brave manoeuvre. Leighton gets it up on the curb, but Wayne, turns. Contact. And it looks like he's gone around. Leighton Fine is in the fence almost. Replay now. Up on screen. Yeah, just didn't look like Leighton really realised how far Wayne was up on the inside there.
Such an easy mistake to have. I mean, the visibility of these cars are quite poor.
Especially over that corner where your exit is very blind.
Yeah, unfortunately Leighton there got turned around, a little bit of room, wouldn't have gone astray. But it's hard to say. I mean, these guys are driving so hard.
Battle for the DPs is hotting up in second place. Christopher Osborne starting to track down Sandman while they're trying to make their way through the McLaren backmarkers.
Yeah, they've got Giuseppe in that McLaren. It looks like Osborne will want to clear Giuseppe as soon as possible. No, unfortunately gets hung out to drive. I mean, we've seen in these Grand Dams that absolutely anything can happen, and unfortunately Christopher Osborne there will probably lose a couple of tenths of a second there. Yeah, it really helps Sandman sort of skip out a little bit, maybe give him a bit of a break, and Sandman will put his eyes forward and focus on Emerson.
Giuseppe's got no time to rest because he's got a great train of Mitchell Aberl, Anthony Kernich and Michael Fabian all within a second and a half of each other coming up close.
Yeah, this battle for 4th, 5th and 6th in the DPs is going to be an epic battle, and I hope it goes all the way to the checkered flag. It's great to watch. These guys are probably as close as they can get to each other without affecting the aero too much. Giuseppe, unfortunately, he's turned it around.
He's gone around.
Oh, nasty there. Oh, he has to stop. Wait for everyone to clear. Oh, just Brad Ryan just gets away with that too. Replay up on screen now. Looks like Giuseppe just got a bit nervous there with the faster class coming up behind him, and yeah, looks like he just lost the rear end and turned it around.
He's just clipped the grass there, unfortunately.
Looks like Christopher Osborne has got heaps of pace. He's actually caught George Sandman. So, yeah, must have been caught maybe a little bit of traffic. But Sandman's actually starting to cost Emerson.
Yeah, both the drivers moving up.
So, this back section here is all single file, basically. So it's all about maximising your car speed, keeping the momentum up. Really want to keep that mid-corner speed going. And a good example of these 3 DP drivers in the lead, battling for the lead. Oh, looks like Leighton Fine, so just held up John Emerson just a touch. And Sandman will have to back out of the accelerator, which means Osborne is all over the back of Sandman now. Heading into turn 1, they've got the McLaren on the outside. No way through. Oh, jeez, Osborne was close to Fine. Head now up to turn 2. Sandman out of danger at the moment for being overtaken from Osborne, but just we can see how a lapped car in one of the McLarens can really throw a spanner in the works.
Yep, the ANZ train of Christian Elwood, Justin Ruggier and Andrew Lee have started to separate but closely catch Fabio Gonzalez.
That's right, well, we've seen the season campaigner in this Grand Am. Christian Elwood actually overtook Justin Ruggier on one of the previous laps. I'm sorry we missed that, viewers, but Christian making a really good turn of speed, and it's actually caught the back of Fabio Gonzalez. So this battle we will expect to heat up for sure, and we know how hard it is to overtake on this circuit, so this will be a very, very close fought battle.
We're hearing reports that Wayne Burke has had a spin at the back of the circuit there, coming through that fast left-hander.
Yeah, just bring the replay up on screen there. Looks like the faster car, the actual leader of the race, John Emerson, was nearly a victim of circumstance there as Burke spins in front of the leader. Very, very close. Emerson very lucky to get away with that one.
Burke with a slight contact to the front there. Hopefully that contact won't hurt Wayne's progress too much and he can continue on.
Battle now. Michael Fabian is all over the back of Kernich. Looks like Abrahal's managed to put his eyes forward, maybe separate himself a little bit from this battle. And Fabio looks like he really wants to get this move done as soon as possible. Really doesn't want to let Abrahal get away.
Just
Christian's sort of fallen back into the clutches of Justin Ruggier. As you look now, the actual leader of the race, John Emerson, is now coming up to Leighton Fine. We'll probably take him on the inside here, and then they'll have the ANZ train. So a bit of work now for Emerson to do, and he has got only 0.8 of a second of a gap between Sandman, so it really doesn't have much room to be patient and wait for these ANZ cars. Otherwise, Sandman will be all over the back of them.
Yeah, it's quite easy when you're hunting down a car in front for you just to make that one little slight mistake, and the competition being so close that it is, got the car behind you back on your rear and got to start looking at the mirrors again.
It's so hard when you're driving in these cars to not watch the rear vision mirror. I know on Monday nights, it's probably one of my bad habits, is as John Emerson gets a little bit held up there by Andrew Lee, and Sandman now will be all over the back of John Emerson. And Christopher Osborne likewise as well. Unfortunately, it's pretty much single file through that section, so all Emerson had to do was, unfortunately, just had to wait.
Oh, we've got Steve Vane, who's being held up by Andrew Wren, I think it is. With Alex Lamb right in behind him. Very close to contact. Sorry, Lamb. I'm sorry there, Alex.
I'm sure he'll forgive you. Probably not the first time it's happened.
Vane, who's still being held up by Hingston.
Oh,
he's had to take to the grass.
Oh, sinks his boot into it and just drives it rallycross style through the grass there. Has to keep that position on Alex. Yeah, Brad Ryan now back up to these battling DPs of Alex and Steve. And after that move he made on, Steve made on Brad Ryan, maybe Brad will get the sweetest victory of all by taking a nice clean pass around Steve Vane. So I mean, we saw how good he is on the brakes, but it looks like we have Michael Fabian turn around. Had a massive up track, was very, very lucky not to end up in the fence.
Very unlucky coming to Lappy's. Overclock his teammate.
Yeah, was held up a little bit there by his teammate and put a couple of wheels on the grass and was very, very lucky not to end up in the actual wall there. And you hit the wall there and it's pretty much race over. I tell you what, I wouldn't want to be in the debrief session for the Overclockers Australia team.
Dylan Sharman, the leader of McLaren race, has been able to check out 4 whole seconds on Blake Coppo. Driving very well.
Yeah, Dylan was quite worried this afternoon that his car may not have the pace for the full 50 minutes, but it looks like he's managed to solve any problems he was having. And yeah, his turn of speed is very good. Looks like we've got Christian Aylward now all over the back of Fabio Gonzalez. We know how good of a driver Gonzalez is. He will have very, very wide McLaren there for Christian to try and get past, that's for sure. We've seen Christian battle very easily as well. Gonzalez makes a little bit of a mistake. And Aylward now all over the back of him.
With Anthony Kernich trying to carve his way through the pack here as well. Christian lets him go.
Yeah, Kernich got a little bit of a gap there to his nearest competitor, so he probably should just be a bit patient here, wait for a nice straight and make the moves.
Fabio lets him in through that turn 2. Keyhole, as they like to call it.
Back now to lead of the race. Last time by, the gap was only 0.2 of a second. And now it's right, as you can see on the beautiful new graphics now, it's out to 0.7. So Emerson really managing to pin his ears back and get that DP out in front. Get some nice clean air and away he goes.
1 second covering the whole 3 of them.
Very soon we'll have the DP Riley actually overtake the leader of the McLaren class, so it'll put Dylan Sharman a lap down for outright position, but Dylan doing a great job leading the McLaren class.
Michael Fabian being held up a little bit by this ANZ train behind Fabio Gonzalez there. Having to go around the outside of Christian Elwood.
Oh, that's a mess of cars. Oh, the guys are driving extremely well not to make contact, and plenty of space given between the two different classes.
Brad Ryan.
Oh. Gonzalez had to be very patient and let four DPs through. It looks like we've got Alex off into the grass. He'll lose the position to Brad Ryan there. Big mistake there from Alex. Track position is everything on this track.
Now unfortunately just drifting a little bit wide over that hill. Easy to do.
To be expected as well when you've just made several overtaking manoeuvres on McLarens. He'll be now behind the faster Brad Ryan. Jeez, this battle for the between Gonzalez, Rozier and Elwood just will not quit. These guys are at it, and they have been for the last 23 minutes now.
Oh, Elwood sideways out of one. Holds onto it.
Loses the position to Rozier. But very lucky to hang onto it.
Very lucky. Christian will have to now reset, pull his tyres back down and look at attacking Justin's rear end again.
So we got our regular Andrew Wren having a great running class as well. He's in 8th position at the moment, so really showing a good turn of speed on this track. He must be really enjoying Mid-Ohio, but will be attacked very shortly by Andrew Lee. So we've got a move in the DPs. We've got Brad Ryan. Oh no, they haven't made the move yet, but very, very close. Wants to have a look up the inside of Venus. Last time these guys battled, unfortunately Brad Ryan was turned around, but managed to get back on the pace and now is all over the back of Venus.
Both drivers just dragging these DPs around, sideways on entry and exit.
I had a little bit of a...
Brad what?
Oh geez, he got away with that one. Venus, very, very aggressive into turn 2. Using all the curb and some. Back to the leaders now in the Daytona prototypes. We've got George Sandman absolutely right on the tailpipe of John Emerson. Just will not leave Emerson alone. Emerson not being able to pull a gap. So whether Sandman's maybe just playing a bit of coy here with Emerson, letting the tyres cool down. Oh, Brad Ryan now being all over the back of Venus. Michael Fabian in the front there as well. Blaine Coppo unfortunately get caught by these prototypes in the wrong possible area. Brad Ryan doing contact there.
Yeah, unfortunately for Blake, he's just got to hold his line through that section.
Yeah, nowhere to go there for Blake. And Brad Ryan, a little bit of damage now. Just a very minor touch, so hopefully not too much damage on that Laserman Racing car. Brad Ryan, extremely good on brakes. I mean, he must have pulled up a couple of tenths just in the braking zone into turn 2.
These guys starting to catch Darren jump coming into turn 3.
Looks like we've had a move in the McLarens. We've had Russia actually got the move made on Fabio Gonzalez. So just trying to have a look now to see if I can see where the... Oh, makes a classic move there onto turn 1. Gets an excellent run out of the last turn. Puts that ANZ in the right position and a very clean move done by Justin. And Fabio will try and hit back as soon as possible, I'd imagine. We know
Yes, with
how
a
good-
driver like Justin, you really need to keep attacking him. Keep him guessing where you're going to be.
That's exactly right, Des. Exactly right. We see how good Justin is in the Monday Night V8s. He is always up the pointy end.
Once he puts his head down,
Whoa! Elwood nearly hits the back of Gonzalez in the last turn there.
oh, Brad Ryan.
Geez, when these Daytona prototypes are battling with the back of three cars, and let's face it, they're all under half a second apart. These poor McLarens don't know what's hit them. They get absolutely swamped. And who was that? Geez, that was...
It was Mario
Yeah,
Testani.
Marco. I think Marco Testani
Okay.
actually got, he didn't know what hit him, got blindsided almost by three prototypes. But glad to get away with that one. Brad Ryan now all over the back. Emerson, huge slide out of turn one. Just lucky to get away with that one. As he had to get around Paulo Martins.
Watching that, it looks like Chris is having a little bit of turn in trouble at turn 2 there. Unable to get the power down quickly.
We go on board and we'll watch this battle from Christopher Osborne's point of view. Jeez, does he make up some time through there?
Yeah, it's quite remarkable, you know, the different lines that these drivers are taking and the swing of momentum.
This is a great view. I really enjoy the onboard cameras that we put on these Daytona prototypes because it really gives you a good turn of speed as Sandman just dips a wheel off onto the grass there. Not an ideal situation, but doesn't manage to lose too much space.
Oh, and
Osborne! Unfortunately, looks like he missed his braking marker and pile drives John Sandman in the last turn, and that's going to be massive damage for Sandman, probably a race ender.
Yep, he's taking it to the pits.
He's going to absolutely devastated. Corey Osborne, huge turn of speed. Unfortunately, goes around the left-hander. Makes up a bit of time. Sandman on the brakes. Unfortunately, Christopher Osborne a fraction later, and that's all it takes. Sandman looks like he will be out of this race. But I tell you who will probably enjoy the side of that. John Emerson. 5.4 second lead last time round.
Yes, gifted that one. But Mitchell Abril, very close and catching Osborne with the damaged car. Osborne with some left front damage out of that contact.
Yeah, we know how fragile these cars are. I mean, they're pretty much carbon fibre. So any damage is going to be taken pretty much straight at the suspension. I mean, these bodyworks really don't do much for cushioning anyway on any sort of impact.
Hearing reports that Brad Ryan's been able to pass Steve Vainus, and Alex is having a look at Vainus now.
Yeah, Vainus looks like he may be struggling a little bit with tyre temperatures, but Alex managed to sort of keep with Brad Ryan for a few laps there, so great job with Alex. I mean, we know how fast Brad Ryan is in the V8, so I mean, transfer that into the McLaren, into the prototype, sorry. He's doing a fantastic job.
And looking to put a move on another V8 driver in Michael Fabian.
Yeah, Brad Ryan will absolutely try and make himself a nuisance in the back of Michael Fabian's mirrors. Looks like we've got the first few places in the DPs, as you see the winners and losers basically column up on your screen now. You've seen the first three guys making a few positions there in the first laps. Obviously, with Sandman now out of the race as well, most of them will sort of skip up a position as well. Oh, Fabian around!
With Fabian around.
Oh no!
Brad Ryan lucky to not hit.
Yeah, it looks like, I think he actually may have made the slightest of touches, but Venus now all over the back of Brad Ryan. Brad Ryan wide of the exit turn 1. Venus will have to go the long way if he wants to get this done.
And Venus around the outside of Brad Ryan.
Brad Ryan.
Oh, Brad Ryan comes back.
Oh, geez, these guys are close. Looks like Fabian just lost the rear end there under a bit of pressure from Brad Ryan and loops it right in front of him. A little bit of damage now on the front of that. Oh, jeez. Steve just barely managed just to push that that gap. Jeez, that's extremely close. Venus very, very aggressive there, trying to go around the outside of Brad Ryan into turn 3, but Brad has the right of way and now has managed to pull a little bit of a gap there. Visually, probably about half a second now. Action aplenty.
And some gains from the start of the race in the GT3 class. Everyone sort of holds station with Martin Turner picking up 3 spots, but the biggest loser is Edward Van Velsen with his damage has lost 7 spots.
Oh, Alex Laham has gone around the outside of Steve Venus at turn 2. Absolutely incredible move. Wow. Replay on screen now. That's great driving from Alex. Looks like Steve's lost a little bit of time out of turn 1, and Alex just drives around the outside of him. Absolutely incredible.
Oh, Brad Ryan's been turned himself around.
Not a good introduction to the prototypes, unfortunately, for Brad Ryan. Yeah, all on his lonesome. Yep. Incredible.
Pinched a brake and over the hill.
I mean,
turned it around.
That little left-hand corner is so deceptive. I mean, just as you go through the apex. Oh, geez, Alex was extremely lucky not to get in contact with Brad Ryan. Whew.
I think a bit of netcode helping Alex out. We'll see.
Alex is in the pit, so maybe a little bit of a damage there. Alex, we don't know what's happened to Alex, but yeah, it looks like he's got a fair chunk of damage. So whether it's a netcode, yeah, it looks like he's received a fair bit of damage in netcode contact. That's how you'd call it. Whether the game is actually basically guessing where the 2 cars are going to head. With Brad Ryan, unfortunately, causing major damages to Alex's car. Yeah, big damage.
Very unfortunate for Alex there.
Alex with an absolutely sensational move around the outside of Steve Venus and pays the penalty in the very next set of corners.
John Emerson with a bit of time up his hand, very patiently just passing Andrew Lee in the McLaren.
That's right, he's got a 3.7 second lead over Osborne, so enough breathing space. This battle now with Fabian Gonzalez and Christian Elwood is just absolutely continuing. I mean, these guys must have been less than a second apart for the last, how long has this race gone on for now? 36 minutes, 37 minutes. It's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, looks like Ruggy's been able to check away. Once he puts that head down, he's a very quick man.
Very, very determined driver. And we know that the man has obviously got a lot of talent. and is driving away from Fabio Gonzalez and really setting himself into the last step of that podium behind Dylan Sharman and Blake Hoppo. Good battle now between David Hingston and Leighton Fine. Hingston in the eSports McLaren all over the back of the Overclockers Australia McLaren.
Yeah, it's one thing that I found last season when I drove these McLarens. It didn't matter really where you were in the field, you always were battling with someone. I know I had great battles with Andrew Wren, who's doing a great job at the moment.
That's one thing we've enjoyed in this series so far, is there's battles from first to last place. It doesn't matter where you look, there's always someone putting a move on someone else. It's absolutely incredible to watch and a pleasure to commentate on. And guys, it must be fun watching it at home. Oh, Leighton and David Hingston both onto the grass. Leighton doing everything possible to try and break that draft and drags Hingston onto the grass. Wow. Rallycross style there. We'll go on board now with a lap of Dylan Sharman. He'll show you how it's done in the McLaren, so turn it up guys, enjoy this McLaren and we'll see you in turn 2 on the next lap. And there we go, that's a lap of Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course from Dylan Sharman's point of view. And one thing to notice that Dylan is extremely smooth, very fast and very smooth.
Yeah, while we were watching Dylan there, unfortunately Wayne Burke has just got it a little bit wrong coming into the last section of track and put his car into the wall. And unfortunately he's taken it to the pits and looks like that's day done for Wayne C. Burke.
Unfortunate there for Burke. Yeah, he was doing such a great job. I mean, we saw him having an absolutely epic battle in the first half of this race and it looks like he was having a great deal of fun. While we've been away watching the McLarens, Osborne has absolutely reeled in Emerson. He has just pumped out. Last time by, he was 1 second faster. That gap now down to 1.4 seconds. 1.4 seconds, and you can visually see Emerson. And that's one thing if you are Osborne, is once you visually see that gap coming in, it makes you push that little bit harder, and before you know it, you're right on the tailpipe.
Yep, and that draft down that back straight's pretty handy to have too.
Last time by, it looks like Emerson saw Osborne coming. 0.3 of a second faster from Emerson, so that gap ebbing and flowing. And Christopher Osborne, absolutely. Oops.
Mitchell Abril and Gonzalez getting into it at turn 2. And it's let Christian Elwood get up the inside for a move into 3 here.
Elwood gets the move done. Fabio Gonzalez's car and makes the move, makes the sting. Oh man, that's close. That's close racing in the McLarens. Koenig now up the inside of Gonzalez, and it looks like something must have happened to Rozier, because he has dropped back behind Gonzalez and Elwood. He was starting to check out there, so something must have happened.
He's had it spin off of turn 2 laps ago and put it into the grass. Unfortunate there for him.
Yeah, unusual mistake there from Justin, and pays the price, but now it looks like he's going to make a move on the outside of Gonzalez, so an extremely brave move. Fabio runs him off. Oh, big mistake there into turn 2. Looks like Gonzalez now with a fair bit of damage will let Justin through.
Yeah, looks like he's just tried to outbrake himself, trying to keep that position, and then he's going to let Ruggier through there.
Yeah, good bit of etiquette there from Gonzalez. Knew the move was made. Unfortunately, outbraked himself. Pushed Rozier off into the grass, into the killer. But
Ruggier with a bit of a lose.
Looks like Justin is suffering with rear tyre temperature. He is absolutely sideways, all over the place.
Not far behind that battle, we've got Brad Ryan and Steve Vainus yet again going at it.
Oh, it looks like Vainus is being held up a little bit by Andrew Lee, but then Andrew Lee's got nowhere to go, so you see Vainus is unfortunately just going to grit his teeth and hold position. Into turn 1 now, Brad Ryan. Oh, gets it up on the curb there. Vainus using all the track and some. On board now with Brad Ryan. This is a great view. This will show you the heat of the battle.
And the different lines that the drivers take through those corners.
Yeah, the keyhole turn 2 is such an interesting corner. I mean, there's so many different lines you can take. Brad Ryan there sucking right up the back with that nice draft from Vainus.
And Vainus just slightly wide.
Brad Ryan definitely got the car pace now over Vainus.
And they're catching this great battle for 4th, 5th and 6th in the McLaren class.
And they've caught him right in the wrong spot as well, so it looks like Vainus will probably have to hold position again on this lap. Brad Ryan will have to be extremely patient, but maybe he'll be a bit opportunistic. Oh!
Turner running wide.
Turner runs wide on the grass, and Steve nearly follows him. Guys, there is less than 5 minutes to go in this race, and it is actions and battle stations for all of these drivers. Yeah, Gonzalez knows what's good for him. He'll back out of the throttle here. And does. Looks like that battle for the lead now is stabilised around that 1.4, 1.3 seconds. Looks like that huge turn of pace that Osborne had. Maybe Emerson was just letting his tyres cool down, saving a little bit for the last last 5 minutes. As we see, oh geez, who was that? Pulling right over the side there. It was actually the leader of the McLarens giving Emerson right away into turn 1, and Osborne gets around nice and clean there, so no time lost there for the 2 DP leaders. Brad Ryan all over the back of Steve Vainus, just will not let Brad into an overtaking position. Oh, Vainus loses a lot of mid-corner speed, and Brad Ryan should capitalise here. into turn 2. This is going to be very close. A braking duel between probably the two best brakers in class. Steve pulls it in nice and tight. Brad hoping for a clean run. Off turn 2. Steve had to be held into a shallow exit there from the slower McLaren. Brad Ryan, huge turn speed. Will have to go the long way around. Steve taking the alternate line.
Can he get the over and under here? Does put him up on the outside for the next corner.
Oh, geez, that's good racing from both guys.
Both drivers 10 tenths on old used tyres. This is great racing from the pair of them.
Yeah, edge of the seat stuff. Hardly any time left to go. Last time round, Emerson stopped the clock at 47 minutes 43, so there'll only be a couple of laps left to go. Oh, Brad Ryan all over the back of Vanos. Keeping it nice and clean though. And a good run off there. Has got the entry into turn 1. Puts it up the inside of Vanos.
Vanos very deep.
Brad gets the move done and holds the inside for turn 2. So great car position there for Brad Ryan. Vanos will have to go the long way around. Oh, very close to the edge of the circuit. Wow, great driving there from Brad Ryan and Steve Vanos. Lots of room given, lots of respect between the two drivers, and Brad gets the position back. This time by John Emerson will round the last turn there to collect the white flag for this race. Yep, there will definitely be one lap to go. So 15 turns remaining there for John Emerson.
Chris isn't giving in though. He was 3 tenths quicker than John that last lap.
Yeah, 1.6 seconds across the line there. So if Osborne wants to get this done now, he really has to make a nice move from a long way back. 1.6 seconds is a huge gap to make up. But Emerson controlling this race beautifully. Mitch Abrahall, the quiet achiever. I mean, we haven't spoken much about Mitch Abrahall, but very, very consistent lap times, and will have the 3rd place on the dice to himself there. John Emerson now with only a few corners remaining now. He'll have the left-right, left complex, and then it'll be checkered flag time for Emerson. We'll just focus on hitting his marks, keeping the car nice and tight. Great drive from Emerson. He's got one corner left, rounds the corner, takes out round 7 of Thursday night Grand Am Series. Well done, John Emerson. Christopher Osborne takes 2nd place. Mitch Abrahall will round the last corner to take 3rd place.
Followed closely there by Dylan Sharman, our winner of the McLaren MP3 class. 10 seconds ahead of 2nd place Blake Coppo. Outstanding drive of both the winners.
And just waiting for Christian Elwood to complete the race, to take out that 3rd place, and there he is, just about to round out the last corner. Well done from Christian, solid drive mate. All was in a battle pretty much for, I'd have to say, 80% of that race, so awesome driving. Just watching the last of the cars cross the finish line. We got the battle for Blake Fine, and David Hinkston still red hot in the last turn. Looks like David Hinkston will hold position and gets it done.
And Ruggier lost out another 2 spots with Martin Turner and Andrew Lee getting by him with that very misbehaving rear end of that McLaren.
Yeah, well, we saw him put in a huge burst of speed there through the middle of the race, and obviously may have cooked his tyres. Well, Des, that is round 7. The TTL boys probably taking a good opportunity now to have a bit of a photo shoot. We saw them do this at Laguna Seca The guys have a bit of fun after the race. These guys do a bit of a speed comparison lap as well. These guys do enjoy it and do have a bit of fun as well. So hard racing and lots of hard fun as well. Well, Des, what did you think of that, mate? First commentary in the Grand Amps. How did you feel?
Oh, I can tell you now, I'd rather be up here in the commentary box than in one of those cars sweating it out.
Nice sitting up here in the air conditioning box, that's for sure.
Definitely after my efforts last year with broken cars every race, it's nice to be able to watch these boys race hard.
As we look through the results now for round 7, we've got John Emerson absolutely controlling this race from start to finish. Gets a great job done on George Sandman in turn 1 there and takes the lead and never look back. So John Emerson finishes first. Christopher Osborne in second place. Mitch Abril in third. Anthony Kernich takes out fourth. We barely spoke about Anthony, but he really did a great job there and held clean and kept himself a nice straight car and finishes in fourth. Great effort there for Anthony Kernich. Fifth place, Brad Ryan, he's in his debut race. He'll be happy with that after an early spin. Steve Amos in sixth. Michael Fabian in seventh. Alex Lamb in eighth place, one lap down. And George Sandman, unfortunately, DNF with a massive accident there into the last corner.
And in the McLaren MP3 class, Dylan Sharman takes out a win, followed by Blake Cloppo in second, Christian Alwood in third. Fabio Gonzalez holds in for a fourth, and Martin Turner and Andrew Lee able to get fifth and sixth, with a ailing Justin Ruggier finishing up in seventh. Andrew Wren holds steady with his eighth place finish, very consistent by him. David Hingston in ninth, and Leighton Fine rounding out the top 10. Over the page, you've got Paulo Martins, Yesby, Tansy, Beppy. Sorry, mate. I'm very sorry. Send us an email and I'll PM you back. Giuseppe Tansy in 12th. Sorry. Darren Jump in 13th. Barry Kennedy in 14th. Chris E. Pence in 15th, Marco Testani in 16th, Wayne C. Burke in 17th after having to park the car, and Edward Van Velsen finishes in 18th.
For the amount of contact in the close racing that we saw tonight, I mean, we only saw a couple of cars DNF, so really hats off to the guys there. Really putting in a great effort there and trying to keep the cars nice and clean, but we do see a lot of damage on those two different classes. Absolutely epic racing. Really enjoyed it tonight. Des, really good to have you here, mate, and I hope to see you back in the box shortly.
Thanks very much, Matthew. It's a pleasure.
Well, guys, next Monday night we'll have the V8 Supercars live from 7:30 at Watkins Glen in the classic layout, so no bus stop chicane. I've done a lot of laps there and I can say it is probably the most fun that you can have in that V8 Supercar. It is an epic drive, very fast, very flowing, so make sure you tune in on Monday night from 7:30 Eastern Standard Time.
I've got to agree with you there, Matthew. It's going to be a very fast and frantic race. Unfortunately for me, I really loved the bus stop chicane, so I'm going to miss it, but it should give us some really great racing with these top split drivers.
I think this classic layout is actually going to polarise the drivers as well, but I'm definitely on the pro side. I am really enjoying driving that at the moment. Well, that's it, guys. That's it for round 7 at Mid-Ohio Motorsport. Oh, I messed up that one as well. Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. I'm Matthew Hill, your host. Joining me was Desmond Hannell. And you're watching the live broadcast of V8 Online's live broadcast of Thursday night's Grand Am Series, brought to you by Track Racer, Thrustmaster, V8 Online Superstore. I'm Matthew Hill. Until next week, see you later.